My spider senses are tingling. I sense a disturbance in the force. I see dead people. I'm back! Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jake. This channel is called Jake of All Trades, and today I am going to be doing Sense by Band-Maid. And the reason for that is because Band-Maid just released a brand new live video for their song Sense, and I actually haven't checked out the original music video for the song, though it's been recommended quite a few times. I'll give a shout out to everyone who recommended that previously. But I heard it's also the opening for an anime called Platinum End. Excited to check it out. Not sure what to expect, if it's going to be a little bit more of a lighter song or a heavier song or, funky song, who knows. Band-Maid has a tendency to do a whole bunch of different things. So before we get into it, I'm going to give a shout out to everyone who recommended this song. We have BM for Life, Bob E, Gary Holloway, Greylock 100, Johan Quester. I'm so sorry, I probably butchered your name. Please leave a written pronunciation in the comments so that way I can give you a proper shout out the next time you leave a comment on my channel. Parker, Paul247-2, This Is Madness with 2 votes. This is Sparta! Tom Clark with 4 votes. Toshimatsu with 2 votes. And Wayne Benedict. So thank you guys for recommending this one, and this didn't have the most amount of votes out of all the different songs. I will be getting to the one that did have the most amount of votes shortly, but when Band-Maid releases a new video, I feel like I gotta get on that. So without any further ado, let's get into the music video for Sense. Okay, Sense official music video, here we go. Sounded epic. Ooh. Got an orchestra. I feel like I'm listening to like I'm at a classic orchestral performance. I can definitely hear the anime influence there. Their style. Guitar isn't as distorted as I would have expected. Ooh, nice drum fill. Oh. That was a really unexpected ending. All right, time for the one that was just released, Sense, the official live video. Let's see how this one compares to the music video. Here we go. Definitely got the orchestral backing track. I wonder what they're gonna do with the lighting. Oh, this would be so epic to see live. I'm glad I can hear Konami's guitar better here. Oh, Konami's guitar is a little bit more like punctuated. Nice fill. There's so much going on between Miku and Konami right now. Love that part with the Kane drums. I didn't hear that part with Konami's part before. I think Konami held it, or sorry, Slinky held the note a little longer last time. They're all doing like their own thing there. That harmony. That'd be such a fun song to see live. All right, so I am on my third listen through of all of each of these versions, and I've got to go like really bite-sized because a common theme with Band-Maid is that they have this way of giving you a familiar song structure so that you like know what's going on. You're not entirely lost with what's going on, but they managed to throw in these things that you just don't expect, like the little twist here and there that's like, wait, what? Didn't see that one coming. And so I'm just starting with the intro. You've got a really cool like epic orchestra, like that. It felt like the opening act to Symphony that I would have gone to with my dad back in the day, and it is reminiscent of like a fairly epic, possibly dark sort of anime, and based on Phantom and the name there seems like that might be the case. I don't know. I haven't seen it, so you guys let me know. And then Konami like leads into like the rest of the band playing with her little do-no-no, and then everyone comes in. And I noticed in the studio version, which I guess is to be expected, you've got the rhythm guitar being double tracked because it's present on both sides, and that's how you get like a really wide rhythm guitar sound, is double tracking that. So Miku's guitar, which I know is usually tracked by Konami anyway, is double tracked in the studio version and the music video. One thing that was really cool that I enjoyed with the live version is I could hear a lot more of what was going on because you don't have the double tracked things and like kind of drowning things out. Like I guess the best way I can describe my sense from the music video into the live is that the music video had like this sense of like it was all creating like an environment, like a sonic environment, and there's like these different soundscapes that like come in and kind of punctuate within that soundscape to like bring your intrigue over here or intrigue over there. Like, ooh, what was that clean thing that Konami was doing? Or like, hey, what was that run that Misa just went on? And you can't really tell because it's just all kind of blending together in the overall mix. Whereas with the live version, I can hear things more clearly. It's like, oh, that's what Konami was doing there? Oh, I didn't catch that before. And so that was one of the things that it's like I can hear Konami in my right ear and Miku in my left ear. I was told in one of the comments that Misa's bass is actually slightly panned left, and maybe my perception is skewed because of that comment, and I'm like hearing it because I read the comment. Or maybe it's like, you know, no, it was pan-centered as it usually is. But like I thought I could hear her slightly more strongly in my left ear. Anyway, though, what's cool about this track is that they're all doing different things. I would have thought that in the intro, like, you know, with the chords, like Misa and Miku were doing more of the same thing, but it's like Miku's holding down the chords while Misa's like getting the bass note of that chord, but then like doing like a run. So I thought that was like not what you'd expect. Like they kind of seem to do a little bit of a reverse of what I would normally gather, because like in a lot of other songs you'd have the bass like kind of holding down that bass note, and then like the guitar kind of do like some stuff on top of it, maybe do like, you know, a little bit of a run on the scale or like some arpeggiated stuff. But like here it just seems like it's in reverse, so it's like, huh. Always turning things on your heads, apparently. Okay, so kind of going into the verse and pre-chorus, like another thing too, like getting out of the double track nature of things, and hearing kind of like Miku's on both sides, like I can hear Konami do some little more intermittent stuff. Like she's not, you know, going too crazy. It's kind of like she'll have a couple beats of rest and then kind of do like a do-do-do-do's, and then like another couple beats of rest and then do another little thing, which I thought was kind of interesting. It's not something I picked up on in the studio version. Like any of that she's doing in the studio version is very much covered up by the palm muted rhythm guitar. This is why I appreciate live versions. I can kind of pick up on the stuff that I wouldn't be able to hear in the overall soundscape the studio version tends to make, and it's like a little bit more raw, a little bit more like you can hear the pieces more distinctly. And then kind of going into the pre-chorus then too, my last video was a comprehensive review of YOLO, and I was describing how they have this tendency to do something separate then come back together, do something separate then come back together. Like that was present in this one too. Like you got Misa doing some little chromatic fills and like runs and stuff, and then like Konami's doing something different and Miku's doing something different, and like they're all doing something different. How do you pull off like these parts that just seem so different from each other and still keep it as like a cohesive song? I mean, like if I tried to write something where you'd have such different parts, I feel like we'd have just a noise-filled disaster on our hands. And so like the fact that they can do something like that is really, really impressive. In the transition from the pre-chorus into the chorus, like I noticed a bit of a difference between the two different versions. In the studio, it's like you kind of get Miku sliding her pick down the neck. Akane's got her fills and stuff, and Misa's got like a bass slide as well, and so does Konami. Like there's like a lot of different like transitional elements in the studio version, but in the live version it seems a little bit more exposed. Like on my first run through I thought it was just Misa. On subsequent listens it's like, oh no, there's a little bit of Konami there too and Misa, But then in the studio version, like I said, there was just like a little bit more fleshed out nature of the transitions. As I mentioned before, you had all these different elements kind of come together in the chorus to create like a cohesive anthem, I guess you could say. And I liked like chorus part 2. In chorus part 1, you had like this kind of high energy driving, like that sort of chord progression. And then you kind of have like this abrupt change in the middle, like after about 4 bars, where it kind of seems like there's a quick pause on like the first beat, and then it like kind of gets into like a different sort of bouncy sort of feel in the second part there, which I thought was like just a unique way to just kind of grab the attention there. And then Akane's double bass to drive that whole chorus was like really, really, really good. Again, I'm sorry I don't comment a lot on Akane, just because like I am not a drum expert, so like I would not be able to really give you like an educated like breakdown of what she does. Though there was a fill later on in the song that like was like, that was really freaking cool. That's such a cool fill. I love that fill. I don't know why that one stands out to me so much, but it's just really, really freaking cool. And thus concludes my analysis on Akane. So then one of the things that I was picking up on too as I was listening to this a little bit more is that Miku and Psyche's harmonies in the chorus seem very precise in the studio version, but then in the live version they don't seem quite as precise and quite as harmonized, and it's a little bit of a trade-off. I mean, there's some times where you can kind of hear a little bit of that like buzzing from the harmony, but I think the trade-off that you get with that is you're trading off a little bit of precision in the singing and the harmonies, but you're really like amping up the energy, because this is a song that seems to really draw in the crowd. And one of the comments I got was saying that this could be like one of the openers, and if this is like, you know, indeed one of the openers for any of their shows, it's a good candidate for that, because it's got that energy. And when Miku and Psyche are bringing that extra energy, even if it comes at the cost of a little bit of pitch, like pitch accuracy, you get that extra pull and draw to like what they're doing. Going into the bridge, I've had to listen to this one like several times over to try and wrap my head around this, because there's so much going on. So you have this pause after the chorus. You go into like this gallop where you've got Misa and Miku and Akane kind of doing like this dun 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 sort of thing going on. But I noticed in the live version as well, it kind of got buried in the studio version. Kanami's kind of got something where she's kind of dun 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 like on the offbeat. And Misa is not just kind of like hitting like an open string. She'll do that and then like run up the neck a little bit, doing some sort of run. She's like never not doing a run, it seems like. And I didn't quite get that until like I watched her hand movements in the live version, and so I thought that was kind of unexpected, given what they had going on with that section. And then you get into, I guess, like solo 1 and solo 2, where Psyche holds out like a really nice note and Kanami goes into her solo, and it's a very melodic solo to begin with. And a thing I noticed between the studio version and live version is that Psyche holds that note out longer in the studio version, and she kind of like just does maybe half of the length in the live version. And then that little fill between like solo 1 and solo 2, where Psyche and Kanami are kind of like in unison with what they're doing vocally and on the solo guitar. It's like this fun little like punch where it's like getting permission to go from being melodic and whatnot to just like, I'm just gonna rip a solo, as Kanami does. So then you got something a lot more crazy, something that doesn't seem to be as melodically consistent with the rest of the song, just kind of like, I'm just gonna show you how talented I am sort of section. And then going out of the solo, like there is like the transition there was just has me befuddled, because Miku doing something interesting, like in the live version it sounds like she's almost kind of like doing like an open string sweep or something. Misa's got like a little doodad that she's doing, and then Kanami's like kind of finishing off the solo. I don't know, it's like there's so much happening right there. My brain just does not compute. After the solo, you've got this section where this is kind of where I was thinking of like of the soundscape where you have, like, you've got all these, like, little punctuated, like, arpeggiated parts that are contributing to this overall, like, ambiance in the studio version. And that's where it kind of gets lost in the mix for me, where there are songs like this where there's just, like, these arpeggiated parts that it's like they sound really, really, really cool. And it's like, I don't know how you get such a cool sound, but you've got, like, different things going on. You've got a Konami guitar. It sounds like there might be a piano in there in the studio version. I can't quite tell. And then, like, maybe a third part in there somewhere. I don't know. It's like fascinating to me to listen to it. And then in the live version, it's so stripped down. It just seems like it's just Konami doing that portion until, like, Lisa kind of comes back in. You get a little bit of a better feel of, like, what's happening there, because you can kind of hear just Konami in the live, but then again in the studio is like there's so many layers. I'm so glad that there's another version to listen to this, because if I ever wanted to figure this out, I won't be so super frustrated trying to identify different parts. And then when they go back into the chorus, like, they almost do like a little bit of a fake out, like, we're going to the final chorus. Just kidding. Yes, we are. That's one of those little twists that always, like, makes me wonder what they're gonna do. Like, you're on the edge of your seat trying to figure out what's next. Are they gonna go along with what you think that they're going to? Is it gonna be the meeting of expectations, or are they going to throw you entirely for a loop? And it's a little bit of both. And then, you know, we kind of get into the main riff following the final chorus, and then the way that they go into, like, this double bass heavy section where it's like, ooh, we're getting, like, we're going real heavy straight to the end, and, like, they almost seem to cut that short. Like, I was expecting that section to go much longer, but they, like, cut it short, and it just becomes like this. I don't know if this is actually the intention of what they wrote here, but it comes off to me as, like, a little bit sarcastic, like a little tongue-in-cheek, like, oh, you thought we were gonna be just going hard straight to the end, right? No, we're gonna just, like, screw with you a little bit right here at the end. So that's kind of how that ending felt, and maybe that was their intention, maybe it wasn't, but I just thought it was kind of funny. But that's what I can think of. It's such a fascinating song to break down, and, like, again, with all the different nuances that they throw in, the little twists and turns, the soundscapes they create is just fascinating. So I really enjoyed this one. Thank you guys for suggesting it. Thank you, Band-Maid, for dropping a live version so that I could have an excuse to get to this one sooner than I normally would. But that is it for this video. If you haven't already, please leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on all notifications so that you don't miss anything going forward. If you have any suggestions or votes that you'd want to see from me in terms of the next Band-Maid song, drop them in the comments below, and I'll give you a shout out when I do that video. Also, any vocal cover or guitar cover requests, also drop those in the comments, and I'll give you a shout out when I do those videos. And again, thank you to BM for Life and Jonas S for supporting me on Patreon. I really appreciate it. That's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day. God bless you, and rock on.